I'm back with another Touchdesigner tutorial, which I already talked about the last time, and here we are with our color grid tunnel thing. And once again, this is a pretty easy setup. And in this case, I want to mention once again how great Touchdesigner is, because you can use the same operators over and over again, but with this node system, you can use them in so many different ways and different combinations and different parameters and all that kind of stuff. And you can receive so many different results, and that's great. I will stop fangirling about Touchdesigner now and get started. So, also I have some cool news. I have a new startup file because I got annoyed by this jelly beans opening up every time I open Touchdesigner, and then I found out that you can have a custom startup file. And as you already know, I'm always starting with my constant job where I set my resolution, and also you might know I always use my appstime.second expression in order to test some animation stuff. And I used this, set them up in my constant job, and then I went under Edit and Preferences, and under this Custom Startup File and Startup File mode, I changed it to Custom File, and then I loaded in my file here. And voila, I have this thing opening up every time I start up Touchdesigner, and I don't have to delete the jelly beans and make my job and type appstime.seconds every time I want to use it. So I just have to use it in my kind of plug and play mode. So you might want to do that too with your custom startup things you always use. So let's get started to make our tunnel, and in order to do so we are going to use some subs and then some tops. But to get started, we are going to use the torus here, and we will bring it into a transform so we can move it around. Once again, you could move it around in here too, but we are going to do it with a transform because that's way more easy and it doesn't fuck up your whole torus. So, and then in the end, connect it with a null, because just in case you want to do some changes in here, it's way more easy if you have it connected to a null and use this null as an export for the geometry. Yeah, so let's bring this null into a geometry. And then let's bring in a render top so we can convert it to a top. And on that render top, we will use our resolution, as always. And then I'm going to connect this render top to a null and make that one visible. So right now we don't see anything, and that's because in order to see subs in the render, you need this geometry and you need a light. And well, I'm not going with the normal light, I'm going to use the ambient light, which is also a light. And and then we need a camera in order to make that light visible. And voila, there we have our torus. And right now it's a little bit ugly because we don't have enough divisions. So under rows and columns we will set it to, I don't know, maybe 60 and 60, and then our torus looks nice and smooth. Alright, then we are going to take care of our material of the torus. And in my first attempt to do this thing I wanted to use a wireframe material which gives you lines on every intersection of the polygons, which is basically what I want in the end, but I don't want this torus to be transparent. I don't want this thing to be visible everywhere and in that wireframe material. I don't know, maybe I'm stupid and I couldn't find it, but I couldn't find a way to make it non-transparent. I don't know, to fill those shapes between the lines. I haven't found a way. So I just went with a constant material. And then as a color map for that constant material, I used a checkerboard in order to have the same effect, I don't know, but with maybe more control and, most important, without transparency. So you might remember the last time we set up a checkerboard by ourselves, but I found out that inside of the palette by Touchdesigner, under the generator tab, we already have a checkerboard. So I'm going to use that. And I will use my resolution on it. And I will set the divisions horizontal and vertical to the same amount. So we have nice squares. And right now we have some transparency here, which we don't want. So I will set the alpha channel of the black one to 1. And there we go. And then connect it to a null. And then under our material, we just have to use this null, just drag and drop it in here, and then we have our checkerboard on our torus. Great. And then we are going to make some changes to the torus. I think I scaled it up a little bit to be more, like this. And also, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure, but I think I did this. And then we're going to move our camera around a little bit in order to have some cool angle. And to do so, we look onto our camera and then make the viewer active. And then you can, you already see what you can do. And it's a little bit annoying, I don't know, to move around here. Nice. I don't really get the shortcuts and how to move around here. So I will leave it like this. I think this is cool. And then I don't know. I will play around a little bit in here. And right now I feel like we don't change anything. So let's scale this one up a little bit. So we have, I don't know, maybe this, maybe that's cool. And maybe we'll do this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this and just move it around until you like the kind of angle we get. Just, it's up to you how you like it and how you move it around. And and another thing I will do, because I don't know, I want it to be a little bit thicker, just like this. I really like this. So I scaled up the radius, which is, I think, the inner one, the inner circle of the torus. And then we continue by, I animated my torus a little bit by animating this rotation. And I used, of course, my time.seconds on here. And I multiplied it with, I don't know, maybe 10. Yeah, I think this is nice and smooth. Yeah, I like this. And then maybe make some changes here again. Yeah. think I like this, and then I will continue. And now I want this to be some kind of wireframes again. And to do so, I used an edge on here, and now we have the kind of thing I wanted in the beginning and tried to do with the wireframe material, but which didn't work out. And in case you want more divisions on here or want it to be distributed a little bit different, just, I don't know, make some changes in that in the checkerboard. No, I will do it like maybe like this, because I want it to be a little bit more squarey or whatever you want to call it. And okay, let's continue. And in order to get those melting liquid effect, I set up a feedback, of course, and let's do so. Just bring in a composite, change operation mode to over, bring in your feedback and connect it here, make this the target layer, and then bring in a level in order to make it disappear from time to time. Maybe like this. Yeah, I think that's cool. And I want it to be a little bit disrupted and kind of melting. So I brought in a transform, and I brought down the translate on the y-axis just a little bit. You can see this is too heavy, so just choose the small steps always. And I think this one is cool. And then you can already see we are pretty near, but not yet. And you might already know what we are going to do now. So the first thing, I don't like this edge is happening over here, so I brought in a transform and scaled it up just a little bit so we get rid of it and have this nice and close look on our torus. And then I brought in a blur. Oops, what happened now? I brought in a blur. What's happening here? Well, okay. Just blur it just a little bit. And of course we're going to use this one in a displacement. And this blurred will be the source, the displaced image. And then let's bring it down to something really small. Maybe like this. And another thing I will do, I will bring in a transform in here and turn the background color black. And let's bring down the displace weight even more. I don't know, maybe like this. I think this is great because it gives us this kind of liquid effect we are going for, but it's not too heavy. And I will delete that transform for now, and I will bring it back here. Because by that we get rid of more annoying things happening on here. And then maybe one of the last things we will do is change the background color to black once again. And then we'll just pulse that feedback really quick because I feel like I had some error in it. And then let's make this one colorful. And remember, you could do it by lookup, which I will do right now. And in that lookup, we will use a ramp. Use your resolution on it. And I also want this color to change from time to time, and so I will use my apps time.seconds on the face. So we animate it. I will change the extend mode from repeat to mirror because I want it to be softer. I will connect this ramp to a blur. What's happening here right now? Always, I don't know. I seem to click something. But well, and then let's change some colors. Just use whatever colors you like. I decided I really like, I don't know, this colors. I don't even know if it will look cool. And then I'm going to do this. So I just have colors going on in the middle, and on the left and the right I will have black. And then I'm going to use this as my color for the lookup. And right now this is too hard. I will bring this up a little bit, and I will also bring down the speed of the app's time by dividing it by 10. Yeah, this is nice and soft. And another thing I will do is I will bring the level back in after the transform. That was a limit level. Because I want the transform to happen first, and then I want the opacity to change. And yeah, this is cool. And maybe right now it's happening a little bit too less. I like it to have some more changes. Maybe like this. Might be too heavy, but remember you can always bring down the displace weight, which we are going to do now. Just like this. And right now it's a little bit too regular, and I like it to be a little bit disrupted, so I bring in a displace inside of our feedback loop tool and set it to null. And on the y-axis I will do some really small things, because I kind of like it how this is melting then. I don't know if melting is the right word, but it gives us a little bit of irregular movement, which I really like. And maybe let's do something here too. Just like this. I don't know if you really need it, or if it's just me. I really like it. And I'm blurring the source of our displacement a little bit, so it's a little bit smoother. And in the end of our feedback loop I might want to bring in a blur too. Not sure yet. Yeah, I like it, but you don't have to like it. You can just not do it if you don't like it. And yeah, basically that's our setup, which is really easy and simple. And also, if you don't like to have this regular colors and want it to be more random, you could just use a noise. Change your resolution of the noise, and then use this as the source for the noise. So we have the comparison of those two. And then you could just change this from monochrome and then play around with the harmonics or the period or whatever you like. The period basically defines how many colors you have, and the others also do some stuff. And the seed is the random bottom. So, and if you want this to be animated too, you can just plug your apps time .seconds in the set axis of the noise, and then you have some nice color changing stuff happening. And yeah, that's it with this technique, and I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come up with cool stuff. And of course you don't have to use a torus here. You could also do some crazy stuff with some, I don't know, maybe let's plug in a box. And let's see what's going on then. Oops, that was wrong. Just let's try it. Yeah, it's I don't know if it's cool. I kind of like it. It looks like this iconic Rubik's cube. I don't know. And yeah, this network is basically a great thing to get started and to do some crazy stuff on it too. You could make it mouse interactive or yeah, whatever you like. And I hope I inspired you to do so, and I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it, as I already said, and I hope you will listen to me again. I hope you are okay with my messy kind of tutorials, and stay kind, stay healthy, and stay creative. Bye bye.